Welcome back to another episode of Mark45. We're gonna review Transformers 1 because we just saw it a few hours ago. So we'll review the movie and then we'll review whatever's on the table here.
Including the laptop.
And the button.
So yeah, as Santos just said, we literally just saw the movie. So this is a super fresh review, out of theater reaction. So, hopefully the things we talk about will be, accurate because we won't forget a lot of it.
Yeah, so what happened at the movie? I kind of forgot.
We had a 1 week gap in Deadpool and Wolverine from watching it to reviewing it. So I'm hoping with this one we will actually remember a lot of the details, especially when we talk about the spoiler stuff. So we don't have a lot of merch this time. As Santos just said, the stuff we are reviewing is the stuff you see on the table. I literally just got the theater stuff today, as we went to watch the movie. And so, without further ado, let's review the movie. Non-spoilers first. So, non-spoilers. Your overall thoughts on Transformers 1, Brandon?
Better than the recent Transformers movies. It had more... focus more on the character development of the Transformers.
The four main
Transformers. Yeah. But there was some cliche moments that were kind of I don't know. They're very expected, if that makes sense. And then also there are some cringy moments, but maybe one or two.
So you think it is better than Rise of the Beast?
Yes. But yeah, also to be fair, it is, I think, more geared towards children.
Because of the jokes.
Yes.
It's also fully animated.
Yes. So I guess it's expected. So if you're a kid or you're a parent wanting to watch this with their kids, I think it's good. It's a good fit for that. So,
which I think is great because the Michael Bay movies at several points I just feel like the movies were not intended for children to watch. So this actually feels very family friendly, safe. You can just go in and not expect, first of all, a bunch of US military porn and not so inappropriate jokes. So my overall thoughts of the movie, We'll score the movies. We'll score the movie at the end. So I think as Brian and I are not as big into Transformers, it's still I've known enough of the the general story and the some of the lore behind. So some of the deep stuff, obviously, I don't know, but I will definitely say I do also agree with Brandon. It is very good. The writing is pretty good, despite some there's some, as he says, some cringy jokes at some point. There were some predictable stuff, but I think overall it has a good, compelling story. I think they knew how to do the emotions well. There are some, obviously we know what is going to happen at the end because this movie is talking about how Optimus and Megatron fell out and became enemies. So obviously the ending, was kind of there already.
Is that a spoiler?
It was in the second trailer.
Yeah, we kind of knew how it's gonna end.
I did not see that trailer
because we've never seen what was Optimus and Megatron like on screen prior to becoming the leaders of both factions. So I think the story was weaved in pretty well. They weaved in a lot of characters, and I think
there was one shot where Optimus Prime going down into Earth in the '07 movie as Orion Pax. He's
Really?
all silver with no color.
He wasn't
an asteroid.
He wasn't already Optimus Prime at that point?
He was like a protoform, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about when the Autobots first arrived on Earth. Yeah.
Might have been the wrong movie, but I'm certain it was a Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, the very first Michael Bay movie. Yeah, so I think it's interesting. And to see, it feels weird because you first see Optimus and Megatron. You always see them as enemies, rivals. And I think the way that they really played with us emotionally is like, oh, wow, they were just, nothing could go wrong. They were great best friends, but then it slowly progresses to how eventually their ideologies change. So I think overall it is good in terms of writing, and it has received quite a high score actually, critics and audience scores alike. Unfortunately, it is struggling to perform in the box office. It has not made enough money yet from its cost to profit, and that's unfortunate. So I do hope to see this movie succeed, because it's I think it's getting similar treatment to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that came out last year. Like, that movie was so forgettable. It was just so unnecessary. I don't even know why that movie was made. So it made sense that it underperformed. But this one, it was good. So I want to see it succeed. So yeah, that's my thoughts. All right. Transformers expert.
No, I'm not an expert, but well, basically the majority of the movie I already knew what was going to happen, because like they basically combined all the universes of Transformers and just made it into one movie. So I already know like the beats of the, and they took like some aspect from this universe, some aspects from this universe, popped in some cameos. I won't mention it, but yeah, it was pretty good. It was actually the first. This is not a spoiler, because you would see in the first trailer, but you would see the surface of Cybertron for the first time in this movie. So yeah, all the shots of Cybertron are always like underground, or like all robotic and not organic.
Okay. So the I think the only thing I didn't really like about the movie was I just couldn't get my head around Chris Hemsworth being Optimus. Like, Peter Cullen has just been the iconic voice of Optimus for so long. It feels weird with the knowledge. It's props to Chris. He actually did a pretty decent job voicing Optimus. But I can see why they did it. They casted him to do Optimus because it was Peter Cullen doing a young Optimus. He just sounds too wise, and they're trying to make young Orion Pax look more, immature, still young. So it was a good choice, but I think personally it was just hard to like really get my head around. This is Chris Hemsworth. This is not Peter Cullen being Optimus. So that's my only critique for it.
You can hear the Australian accent like seething through sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's trying to sound American, but
Do you think he did a good job then?
it's like, it's a good job, but it feels weird.
Yeah.
Like, you can hear that he's definitely not, like, you can hear the accent sometimes. So it just feels like, like a fan-made parody sometimes, like the voice. Does that make sense?
I think his job as acting as Orion Pax is good, but in the end of the movie,
Should have just swapped to Peter Cullen when he became.
well, he could have done a better job as Optimus, but it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. It's acceptable.
It's acceptable.
It's
yeah.
not bad.
What about Brian Tyree Henry as Megatron, or D16 at that time?
Yeah, it's a bit different than other Megatrons, but he did a pretty good job.
I mean, I like that one better. He sounded like, he had the emotion. He sounded, well, spoilers, but there's like a couple moments where he gets very heated, and you can like hear it in his voice.
Yeah, so I think he did a good job, starting D16 first as this charismatic dude, and then as he slowly becomes more conflicted, the acting comes with the emotions, and even though it's just by voice, it was pretty good. So before we seep into spoilers by accident, let's end this section here. So what is your overall score of this movie?
What did I give Deadpool?
Oh God, I don't remember. I think I gave it an 8.
Okay, I give it a 8.5.
Damn, you need to top Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'll give it a 7.5.
I think I'll also give it a 7.
If I wasn't a Transformers fan, I would still think it's better than Deadpool.
Hot take. All right.
All right, yeah, everyone can see. Do you agree with Santos?
This is gonna be clipped and it's gonna be put on TikTok and the narrative is gonna be twisted and people are just gonna start putting negative
All right, Ryan,
comments.
that's your job.
Well, the Rotten Tomatoes score already shows it.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
so-
There is. If it's got such a high score, why is it struggling to perform in the box office? Then?
I think it's the marketing. Because the first trailer was like, oh, it's like all jokes and stuff, so people turned away from the movie. But the second trailer was like really serious. So it was like,
So they should've switched it.
yeah.
That being said, let's dive into the spoilers. We definitely have much to talk about. Much to talk about.
Let me go first before Santos starts explaining everything.
Okay.
Here, okay. Are we starting?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to explain some of my thought process from watching the movie before Santos says explains everything. So this is from the perspective of someone who doesn't know much Transformers, and yeah, and didn't also only watch like one trailer. I didn't even see most of the trailers, so I didn't know the Megatron thing.
What Megatron thing?
Like they're gonna fall out, right? That was in the trailer, like Optimus and Megatron.
Yeah, but that's in Transformers
Yeah,
lore
yeah,
in
yeah.
general.
Yeah, but I didn't recognize Megatron at first. I only saw it through like, I don't know, partway through the movie. So it's like in the beginning I thought there was just Optimus and some other Transformer. I was like, it's probably someone, but I don't know who. And then the first time he stuck the Decepticon sticker on him, I was like, okay, I recognize that. And then a bit later I was like, that makes sense because it's probably foreshadowing he's gonna become a Decepticon.
And then when they met the High Guard.
Yeah, that's when I was like, okay, it's probably Megatron. Yeah. So that's when I first like figured out it's probably Megatron. And then you can kind of see it progress through the movie. And another foreshadowing, but it's pretty late, is the etching the Decepticon logo into, or Sentinel Prime was doing that on his chest, and that was kind of foreshadowing as well.
What is Sentinel Prime? Oh, he had the transforming core of the Megatronius Prime. Was that the name?
Megatronus.
I was close.
Yeah, very very similar name. Was there another one that was like Optomius Prime? Is that a thing?
So did Megatron become a Prime then when he took the core?
No, he just took his T-Cog. His transformation.
Oh,
cog.
so he isn't like a designated Prime.
No.
No, okay.
Okay, we'll explain how that works in a bit. Or
Okay.
Santos will explain.
Yeah, who's we?
Yeah, just him. Okay,
Yeah.
one more thing was there's should I talk about the plot twist in the movie?
Yeah, when we're in
Okay.
spoilers now, so go for
Alright.
it.
So the plot twist in the movie was that Sentinel Prime is not actually a good guy, but is a bad guy.
Like he's a corrupted leader.
He's corrupt. So basically, the first sign of that was like near the beginning, he talks to everyone and he's like explaining stuff. You can kind of get like vibes from him that he's kind of corrupt, just based on the way he's speaking.
So he's not fully telling the truth. You
Yeah.
can tell.
If you've seen like, I don't know, like Homelander, like The Boys, you know how. I haven't seen the show, but I've seen a lot of clips.
Yeah, so have I.
He's evil, but he is also charismatic. That's the vibe that he gives off. So I was like, it's a little bit suspicious. And then when Optimus and Megatron get sent to the bottom, the 50 layer for the trash chute, they meet Bumblebee.
Or just known as B.
Yeah, well,
B,
yeah.
Yeah.
or Badassatron. Yeah. Also, how does he do the voice? Is it an actual voice?
I think that was actually Michael Key in the booth, like deepening his voice
Really?
to say it. Yeah.
I thought it was like somewhat computer generated, but yeah, impressive if it's real. What else? Yeah, so that's when they got the video clip of the old Moss Man. What's his
The
name?
bionicle looking like guy.
The bionicle looking like guy. The message, he was like, Sentinel Prime is down or something, and I'm like, that seems a bit off. I don't know what he said. He said Sentinel Prime is something.
Is a traitor?
Well, turns out, yeah.
Yeah, he was a traitor, but like that was before they actually revealed it. He said like Sentinel Prime is down. That's what I heard. So I was
Or
like,
he's like bowing to the quintessence.
he said Sentinel Prime is something, and that
Okay, I
made me
don't
really
remember.
suspicious that he's evil. So that was like the first time you got like pretty good confirmation that he's evil, and I was like, okay, he's probably evil. But before then, you can kind of tell like he's a little suspicious, and then you after that you get revealed that that's the plot twist. So yeah, that's all I wanted. That's the main thing I wanted to say. So
Do you have you seen the Michael Bay movies?
no.
So if you have, then you would know that this is actually not the first time Sentinel Prime has been on screen. In the third movie, Sentinel Prime is completely different from the Sentinel you saw in this movie. Yes, he also turns out... Sorry, I'm going to spoil a little bit. Yes, it turns out that Sentinel in that movie also turned out to be a bad guy. But the way they did it was he was partners with Megatron. So, yes, he turns on the Autobots in that movie. So they kept that narrative that Sentinel is not actually a good guy. He is a bad guy.
So was he first revealed to the audience as a good guy?
Yes.
Okay.
He was first revealed to be this. He had this machine that would save Cybertron, but turns out he convinced the U.S. military let Optimus retrieve him,
Okay.
and then they welcomed him into the base. Treated him like an Autobot, and then
I see.
traitor. He was a traitor, and so
Yeah, so everyone that is actually a Transformers fan or has seen that movie is probably expecting this.
no. That's the way that they're different though. The way that Sentinel's different. Number one, his design. Sentinel was red. He has a fire
okay,
truck
completely.
in the Michael Bay movie. They kept his big double blade sword. That's been kept. In this movie, Sentinel is gold and blue, and then in the Michael Bay movie, Sentinel Prime was the first Autobot leader before Optimus. He trained Optimus.
Yeah, that's true in the comics.
Yeah, he Optimus was his apprentice.
Okay.
In this movie, Sentinel is like the king, the leader of all of
Okay.
Cybertron.
So the
yeah.
mentor to Optimus Sentinel Prime, was he evil?
He was good at first until I think he realized that the war wasn't going anywhere. So that's why he partnered with Megatron.
So okay,
at the
so
end.
he was good, then he was like legit good, and then he turned to evil, and then came back pretending to be good.
Yeah, and then bombshell reveal. He attacks the U.S. military. He kills a fan favorite Autobot, which I won't say to not spoil it. And then he at the final battle, which is basically him and Megatron versus Autobots in the U.S. military.
I see.
There you go. So Sentinel has been really reworked for this movie, for sure.
So some people might not expect it,
Yeah.
but I was like, I'm completely in the dark, so I have no clue.
Yeah.
Should I show you some images?
I mean, you should start explaining the movie.
All right, Santos.
Because we stated our pieces.
Yeah. Your episode. The rest.
Yeah.
Okay, this is IDW Sentinel Prime. I said he looks like a Gundam. Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like orange. In the IDW comics, he was the leader of Cybertron. So they took it from there. About D16, it's actually his name comes from in the section of where he works in the mines
Oh, okay.
Oh, so you
in
just
the line continuity, but an actual answer to there's another answer to that question is in the G1 cartoon they also had a toy line, so he was the 16th toy in the toy line, and the D represents Destron, which is the Japanese name of Decepticons.
so it's a reference, big
Yeah.
reference.
Yeah.
So what about Orion Pax then?
That was just made up.
Oh.
They just made it for this movie.
No. Like past.
Okay, so
Transformers stuff.
that's not a reference.
So it is.
Oh yeah,
it is,
in the G1 cartoon, he was named Orion Pax.
so it respects the lore.
So that
and
yeah.
and Alpha Trion created Optimus Prime from Orion Pax.
Oh, so they were two different characters.
He turned into Optimus Prime.
Okay, so yeah, so it's the same here then in this movie.
and then so the D16 that's a made up name for this movie. Or was it used before?
It was used before.
Okay. So they're all used before, but that one's as a reference.
And B127 is from the Bumblebee movie.
Mm-hmm.
He was named that.
Okay.
So that one was like more recent.
So that
And
one's okay.
yeah.
Move.
It feels weird though seeing Bumblebee this chatty.
Well, what's in the Bumblebee?
Because
movie?
Bumblebee is traditionally his voice box is broken, so he talks through the radio. Yeah.
Or in the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the cartoons, he's like talking.
Yeah, but in this movie he was just so chatty.
So normally he's chatty, exception of the Michael Bay movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
like-
Bumblebee movie.
Till the very last. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna spoil again. But till the very last Michael Bay movie, he finally talks.
Okay.
And Alita 1 is in the G1 cartoon. She was actually named Ariel, and then Alpha Trion changed her to Alita 1. But in this movie, she just is called.
She's not
Alita 1.
RC, right?
No, RC is a different character.
RC's, yeah, I figured because like I was watching like, is this RC? I was like, it doesn't seem like
RC did. I saw her in like a few shots of the movie.
So she is in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was
Also,
in, like,
I
the
think-
crowd cheering.
I also saw Ratchet
yeah.
in the crowd. Yeah, there was a brief cameo of Ratchet. No Ironhide though.
Ironhide is red, so he.
Oh, that's why. Because I was so used to him being the GMC truck, pickup truck from the Michael Bay movies.
He has the red thing with the kind of mohawk.
Oh, okay. So he is there. So all the main Autobot characters are all in the movie.
Yeah, like also Jazz.
Jazz. Yeah. Remember Jazz?
He was stuck in the mine, and yeah.
Oh, was that the guy they rescued?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, there is cameos. You're right. They are just sprinkled throughout the movie.
And then of course you saw Soundwave and Shockwave.
Oh yeah, that was pretty obvious. Like when he got to the high ground, I'm like, oh yeah, these are the Decepticons.
Also, there's this cool reference when they were on the train to Iacon City.
Mm-hmm.
Soundwave said "eject," like his cassette.
High guard eject, right? And they all just deploy. This feels so Mandalorian when they all just deploy out of the train to fight.
But I wish Soundwave had his actual cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Didn't he also
Laserbeak
deploy-
and Ravage.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Then you also have those little guys. Yeah. Laserbeak and Rabbit. And then so Starscream was the original leader of the High Guard, and then Megatron.
The High Guard is actually something new.
Oh, it's just an alter name to like pre-Decepticons. They just needed to do that.
He was in the line continuity. I'm reading a book called Transformers Exodus, and he was the leader of this Air Force,
Mm-hmm.
a military Air Force thing. He's actually the commander of the Seekers, which are airplane or Transformers that can turn into airplanes. So you would see some that look like Starscream, but they have different color palettes.
Okay.
So like, there's a blue version named Thundercracker. Yeah.
I feel like Starscream in this movie doesn't seem like a suck up to Megatron, because in the Michael Bay movies he's just like, "As you wish, Lord Megatron. What do you want, my lord?" He's just like dick riding Megatron all the time. In this movie, he does feel he is a threat till Megatron asserts dominance over him.
Also, there's these Transformer Seekers called Coneheads.
Like the serial killer?
No, their heads are actually like cones.
Were they in the movie? Because I swear I saw some in the background. Yeah.
Some of them were in the background. So this is what a regular Seeker looks like, and this is what a Conehead looks like.
Mm.
See, so for traffic.
About Orion Pax at the beginning of the movie, in the line continuity, he was an archivist, like a librarian. So that's So I guess the beginning of the movie was as a nod to his supposed job. Yeah. But in this movie, they're all minors.
So was Optimus and Megatron actually best friends in the lore, and then they fell out?
Yeah, in the book I'm reading, he was an archivist, and then Megatron was a miner, and then his kind of hobby was being a gladiator, so he would like kill other people for sport.
Whoa.
In like an
Who?
arena. Megatron,
okay.
or D16. And then they kind of like did not like the society, so they kind of teamed up and then went to the High Council and like did a court session.
That sounds so boring. I'm glad they won of this. This what we got in this movie.
and then like the High Council said like, okay, maybe we should change the caste system. That's what it was called.
Mm-hmm.
And then the war happened.
Just like that?
Or like the Megatron and Optimus Prime like disagreed in their ways of changing the caste system, and then
the war happened.
Yeah. I don't know what to talk about.
Well, now you can explain the movie.
Oh yeah, the 13 primes. So I don't know. A lot of it comes from the line continuity because that's where most of the stuff is inspired from. So yeah, Primus did create the 13, but I think Sentinel was like a fake Prime, but in the line continuity, his name and also Zeta Prime were interchangeable. Like in the video games, he was called Zeta, and in the books, he was called Sentinel. But they're basically the same character.
Let's see.
So what happened was like he killed the other primes and tried to become a prime.
I don't think killing he did that in the comics or whatever.
Okay.
But I'm not too familiar in that aspect.
So he wasn't a prime before, right? He was never a prime.
I don't think so.
So he just lured the primes into the cave.
I think he just calls himself a prime as being like it's like a leader.
But he's the only one. No one else could say anything at that point, and because everyone else is dead.
Okay, so you explained the beginning already, and then the guards catch Orion, and then that was one of the first jokes. He's like, he can't transform yet, and so he's like, he's gonna do the middle finger. No, the other one he's like, oh yeah, watch this, and he tries to like transform and just cuts to him bolting off. That was the first joke. You said you had some. You said you found some bits cringy.
Yes.
The badassatron.
Well, a little bit.
What other points?
Let's see. Bumblebee was like literal, like as soon as like what's her name, Alita?
Yeah.
That's her. It's just like she's like, did she join us? And then Bumblebee starts going like full on simp mode and starts just talking to her for like the whole trip. And I was like, I know you're talkative, but like, calm down.
The whole chase scene of Optimus running, it was just a cool action sequence, I think. And then after, he kind of escapes them with D16's help.
It's where he's escaping Darkwing.
Yeah. The first scene.
Yeah.
The chase scene.
Yeah, and then in the train, Optimus or Orion whips out like the limited edition, mint condition
Megatron sticker.
Yeah. Like that's like to foreshadow the Decepticons, I assume. Yeah. So that happens, and then let's skip for a little bit. That they have the mining scene. Cave collapses. They rescue Jazz. Alita gets fired
because he did not follow protocol by abandoning. They were supposed to abandon him when his leg got stuck.
I think so. Or it might have been something else. I forgot.
What's the protocol? Just leave him to die.
Yeah, I guess. And then she gets demoted to trash manager.
Either get demoted or let him die.
Exactly.
Or it might have been like not mining in the certain area where it like kind of started to collapse.
But then they were screwed anyways. Then why is she mad at him, at Optimus, for like trying to save his friend or whatever?
Yeah, it might have been something else.
I think it was
I don't remember.
saving Jazz You're Not Supposed to or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, so that happens, and then Sentinel, does his I guess his like monthly Zoom calls to the whole planet, just to update him or tell more lies to the people of what his progress on finding the matrix of leadership, which is in secret donating all the energon to the Quintessons. But anyways,
I thought the Quintessons were the main enemy, but I guess not.
yeah.
I was expecting them to fight him, but at the same time, look how big their ship is.
So no, so he basically it goes along the lines of like, oh, for some reason I feel great, so let's do a race. Let's do our iconic race, and yeah, so that happened, and then everyone's like, yay, racing time, and then I guess Orion was very inspired by that. He wanted to take part in the race just to prove himself, be special.
Or to kind of represent the miners or the Transformers who can't transform.
Exactly. And D16 was very against that idea. And Orion kind of just tricked him into doing it with him, like into participating in the race. So how'd you find the whole race scene?
It was interesting. Somehow they got ahead and in first place for a bit. And then for some reason they were just relaxing there for like a whole minute while everyone just passed them. Like, you just get up and go to the finish line. You could probably finish like 5th or something. It'd be pretty good.
Anyways, this is
No comment on the scene. Okay.
Oh, well, okay. The Icon 5000 was from the Marvel UK comic.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
I see.
It's a big race. So this is what the Quintessons look like, or on the right is the G1
That's what it
style,
looked like from Masters of the Universe.
and then this one is from Michael Bay, and this one's from not sure.
Michael Bay used the Quintessons at one point.
The Last Night.
Oh, Quintessa. Oh, okay.
No idea what you're talking about.
So this is a Quintesson judge, a scientist, and a prosecutor, and then this one's forgot. But
That one's a forgot. Okay.
Okay. Well, what about the Quintesson king leader that Sentinel bowed down to?
that's the high commander. That one's a new
One?
Yeah, new one.
Oh,
There
And that's
you go.
a toy.
Yeah, Transformers 1 toys. Very
I
nice.
see. All right, we should get some. Let's go.
Now?
Yep, we're shopping.
I can explain more about the Quintessons.
Yeah, for sure. So they do the race, and then Sentinel was very impressed that 2 miners did the race despite them coming dead last. And then he's like, "You guys have been promoted. You're gonna go to my up to my like high levels of office." And then turns out that didn't happen. They got sent to the trash compactor instead.
Were they last though? Didn't say they were last.
Yeah, they were last.
Oh.
Yeah, they're like, at least
How
we
did
did.
they fumble that?
I know they fumbled it at the very end.
Well, what are they doing? They're just like demoralized.
They were gonna get first, but at least they could have
they
gotten like
could
top
have
10.
Yeah, you could have. They could have.
Yeah.
I'm just confused why they didn't.
Anyways, they get sent to the trash compactor, and that's where they meet Bumblebee, or B. And then B has a bunch of imaginary friends. So I guess it shows he has imposter syndrome. And yeah.
Steve was down there.
Yeah, Steve was down there. And then they're like, at first they're like, oh, we're going to be stuck down here. But then Orion finds a piece of message in one of B's friends, which
also,
is what?
it turns out they weren't. Yeah, but it also turns out they weren't stuck the entire time. I don't know
Exactly.
why they were panicking.
So what did he find in? What was the thing he found?
It was a SOS message from Alpha Trion.
Mm-hmm. The Bionicle looking like guy.
I think that was recorded when the Quintessons and the 13 Primes were fighting.
Yes.
Like when the spiders were just descending
that was
down.
probably when it was. And then he marked his location where the fight happened.
He was saying call the High Guard. He was trying to get the High Guard to reinforce them. Yeah, I remember him saying something. The line.
No,
Like,
I remember something about.
this is a message for the High Guard. Get them.
Really?
Yeah.
He said, okay.
Get them to help.
But something about Sentinel Prime.
I think the High Guard came, and then they witnessed Sentinel turn on the Primes and killed and killed them all. Because I remember Starscream said something like that.
Oh, and then they were like, okay,
They said, okay, like we're not helping this.
wait,
You're on your own.
And then they
Yeah.
plotted revenge on
Yeah.
Sentinel.
Exactly, yeah. And then so that happened, and then they escape. They coincidentally by plot met with what was her name again?
Alita 1.
Alita 1 on the train. She tries to report them, but they trap her in the train, and then they go to the surface.
And it's the first time we see the surface of Cybertron.
Any lore, any
Yeah.
Transformer movie or comic? Interesting.
So they get to the surface. Turns out it looks great, but it's also very dangerous. Like the view is stunning, but it has a lot of natural disasters there.
And all the wildlife are robotic.
Yeah. And then they lose the train. They get in an accident. They find an abandoned place. Turns out there's still quintessons up on the surface. So there's ships floating about. So
And for some reason, they hate deer.
yeah. So now you can explain a little bit of the quintessons.
Yeah, so in the G1 cartoon, they were actually the creators of the Transformers.
So
And
declaring war on their creators. Okay.
yeah, and then they went to war and stuff. There's actually a prime called Quintus Prime, in Transformers Earthspark. He was a big he had a big role in that.
Isn't Earthspark the bad show?
Well, not bad,
it's a
but people
controversial one.
people didn't really like it. Yeah, so Sentinel Prime is giving energon to the Quintessons, and
Oh, that's a little later. This is where they just meet the quintesson ships, and then after they go into the cave and find the primes and the bionicle looking guy.
And they feed him.
and also the other dead
Yeah,
primes.
there's a moment where they all just observed the dead bodies of the primes.
And then D17,
D16.
D16 was like, oh, look at that Decepticon logo. With like
Megatron is prime. My idol, he was just there. Again, setting him up for his future name.
Also foreshadowing there, I guess.
Yeah. And then they find the bionicle looking guy, and then they revive him by feeding him stock pots of energy cubes. Or energon
That
cubes.
Bumblebee has stored for some reason. Yeah. I guess, do they all have that
He comes
stored?
back. Okay, so yeah, he gets revived, and they're like, oh, like he's still like he has his most recent memory was still the fighting. So they calm him down, and oh, we're here to complete the mission. We just got to deliver the thing to Sentinel Prime, and then he delivers the bombshell revelation that Sentinel is not a good guy. And then
Yes.
what happens then? Oh, he
They
goes on
show
a,
all this stuff, and then everyone's depressed and like it was like, oh, we're gonna do, and then the Bionicle dude is like, hey, I can give. You guys don't have cores, I will give it to you. Also, he's like gives an inspiration.
Oh, also
speech.
they then showed. No, and at first they didn't believe it at first, and then the Quintesson showed up, and then Sentinel, and then they
showed
witnessed
the
it.
thing.
Yeah,
they showed the.
they witnessed it just to
Yeah.
get the confirmation that okay, Sentinel's a bad guy.
But what if that was all AI generated?
This is what the 13 looked like. If you're, yeah.
So was the movie accurate?
Well, Onyx Prime has wings, so that was.
Why is the guy in a circle?
Oh, this is I think this is Micronus Prime. He's like.
Tiny? He's like
He's Yoda.
And then there was like one Prime that had like one eye, in the movie. I'm not sure who he was, but.
Okay.
And then here's Alpha Trion. It's like old with a beard.
I see. He's the old man.
But he like turns into a spaceship. In this movie, he turns into like this lion.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like primal.
Yeah.
Because we watched the last Transformer movie we watched was
Rise of Beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so they discovered that's true. Megatron is now like kind of super pissed off.
Yeah.
And his revenge on Sentinel is not expose him, it is execute him, make him suffer for everything. Yeah.
And then, anyways, yeah. Altronius gives them the cores.
Yes, now you
And
can say
he's
that.
like, here you go. And then they all become Transformers.
And
real
then
ones.
and then Sentinel's garrison discovers them or finds them.
First he gives them a message that exposing Sentinel.
Yeah, it's just footage of Sentinel.
Yeah, footage. Oh yeah, they also before they get the cores, they go spy on the meeting between Sentinel.
Yeah, and that's how they
Yeah.
that's how they confirmed.
That's how they
Yeah.
confirmed. And then, but they also showed the recording of the attack.
They do that and then escape. The garrison comes in, and then Bionicle guy's like, "I'm gonna fight," and then he turns into the lion and fights him. But then the cyber creepy alien-looking lady,
Arachnid.
her captures him.
Arachnid is not from G1. She's actually like a more modern character from Transformers Prime.
I see.
She has many eyes.
She has too many.
Yeah.
And that's Arachnid.
I see. Is it a guy?
A girl. There was another spider transformer named Black Arachnia, but she's from Beast Wars.
Oh, they're gonna say Black Widow. Anyways, Black Widow's in this movie too.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson voices Elite. I can't say the name.
Alita 1.
Alita 1, yes. Scarlett Johansson voices her. And then what happens then after? They go back.
They try to escape. They try to transform, but they fail miserably. Yeah. Only Megatron's like the first one to get his transformation.
And at that point, you can start to see Megatron starting to, become.
The first time you see it is when they're like arguing about who gets to hold the map. And Megatron's like, "I'm gonna do it." So that's like.
You can already start feel tension is starting to build. Yeah. And then they have that moment, and Orion's like, "Hey, you okay?" And Megatron's like, "No, I'm not okay. My whole life is a lie." And then he goes on the whole rant, like he just wants to make Sentinel suffer. So obviously, one's about justice, one is just straight execution, and then the High Guard captures them. Yes. Then what?
Then Alpha Trion gets executed by Sentinel.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Very sad.
He gets revived for like a couple hours.
Sentinel has a temper problem,
Yeah, and he just drives us. Yeah, he executes again. So now he's really dead. Bionicle Guy's actually dead. And then High Guard captures the gang. Then they get taken to the High Guard lair. Bumblebee is clearly a massive fan of them. And then, that's how we meet the High Guard characters who would later become the Decepticons.
Yes.
Also, there's like a kind of joke or theme that Shockwave always gets punched in the eye.
Oh, yeah,
Or
like that happened. Yeah. So they do that, and then the High Guard are just these bullies. They're these superstitious, aggressive soldiers, warriors that just want nothing but revenge on Sentinel. Megatron is just like, F this. I don't have time for this. But Starscream is like, hold up, what are you doing? Why are you insulting me? And then they have a one-on-one fight.
He beats him up.
And then he screws up Starscream's voice, and then it becomes the iconic voice you hear for Starscream, like that raspy, like high-pitched
kind
voice,
of.
right?
Huh? No, I think it's just temporary.
Yeah.
And then he just wins when he pulls out a big cannon.
Yeah, his fusion cannon.
Yeah. I see. He's like, I didn't know I could do this.
And I think at that point, Megatron is like proving himself to the High Guards that, okay, this guy means business. We should follow him. So he's kind of like rallying the High Guard to him.
Random person could just come in, beat up the leader, and they become the leader. Why doesn't Optimus Prime do that? There's a solution. Just go beat up Megatron, and you become the new leader.
Then the war wouldn't even have happened in the first place.
Perfect.
Well, I don't think they did follow him in like near the end of the movie, but
No, they helped him. Yeah, but like
at that point they see Megatron starting to like beat up Starscream. They're like, whoa, this guy means business.
Following that logic, Optimus Prime could become a little bit more evil, beat up Megatron, and then he unites everyone.
Yeah, so they do that, and then they're like, all right, let's do this. And then before anything could happen again, the the Sentinels garrison finds them somehow again. They didn't really explain how they're just tracking the group. So they find them again. They capture B, they capture D16, and half of the High Guard.
Yeah, it's possible they had trackers implemented since they were born.
Oh yeah, probably.
It's possible.
So they capture them, and then you're just left with Optimus, or you're left with Orion, Alita, and Soundwave, Shockwave, and
Everyone else,
and a bit of the High Guard.
Yeah, some of them.
Starscream was captured, so he wasn't there, and then Orion has this moment like, I should have just listened. Why did I do this? I'm a failure. And Alita's like, you're not a failure. You're stupid, but you're very inspiring.
She's like, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.
And then Orion's like, I have an idea. We're gonna wage war on Sentinel. And then at first the High Guard's like, why should we follow you? And then the joke, of Alita punching.
It's like, why should we follow you?
We will follow you.
Well, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, without not even hesitation. And they do it, and then they go back. Orion goes back to Icon City to rally the miners to also fight.
Oh yeah, speaking about Shockwave, his personality is more like he's like logical and he's like a mad scientist. But in this movie, he's like Shockwave.
Oh.
Also, the way that the Transformers run is, they've done that multiple times. In the train, when Bumblebee just like bolts off, like I think the hard cuts actually make it funny. Something like the hard cuts they do, and then so the D16 and everyone else who's captured gets brought to Sentinel, and D16 is like, "Fuck you." He was basically saying that in the PG-13 way. He's saying "F you" to Sentinel. And then he stands and he's like, I'm not bowing to you. And he tries to like stand up to him. And then Sentinel goes, okay, I see you're a big fan of, Megatronus. Let's give you a permanent mark. And then, yeah. Oh, yeah. So what do you think of that scene then? Megatron or D16 just standing up to Sentinel, being like, F you.
I guess he's supposed to be rebellious, right? Yeah. So, yeah, it showcases that well.
And I think at that point you can really see like just the evil is really starting to hit, like.
Well, it's not really evil yet. He's just rebellious.
Yeah. And then the train comes in, and they're like, "We've been brave," and they like. Then that's when the fight begins.
And then Sentinel decides not to kill D16.
It was for plot reasons.
Yeah, but efficiency reasons, just kill him and then deal with the other problems.
Well, so that happens, and then Orion and the miners pull up to join the fight, and then Arachnid attacks Optimus. She's using all of her eyes for some reason, and he's like, well, we're going to crash into the tower. They crash into the tower, and then more fighting begins. Prisoners are freed. Big battle ensues, and then that's when the Sentinel gears up and takes matters into his own hands to fight them.
Yes. Then big fight happens, and then partway through the fight, they were like, I don't know who told him, but someone's like, we want Arachnid intact.
Because she has a lot of footage of Sentinel.
Oh yeah, Sentinel just snitched on himself during.
Yeah, he was doing his villain speech, his villain monologue.
Maybe don't snitch on yourself, but then at the same time, she had the footage of him kneeling down, so that was like.
And him executing, like there was footage of him stabbing Bionicle guy as well.
Yeah, so the footage was already there. He just made it worse.
Yeah. So that happened, and then the recording is played. The whole planet discovers the truth, and they're like, traitor! And they rebel. They stop working. They overthrow stuff.
Also, Bumblebee has knife hands.
Oh yeah, and a battle mask.
Those are battle mask, knife hands, and then he cuts things up for like
casually too, without even realizing.
He's like. Yeah, those there's also a bit of a gag too.
There was also one point when they got to the office, the recording office. Yeah. He just starts tearing up everything with the knives, and the workers are just like, "Oh my god!" They're just terrified.
He's not even hitting the workers; he's just hitting everything. I was like, "Did you break a machine you were supposed to use?" Because I was kind of worried.
That would have been funny. And then they're like, "He's not the bad guy," and he's, "Oh no, it was already here. It was already like that when we got here, right?" And then the guards were like, "Yeah." It was like that. I promise. So yeah, that was another gag, as you said. So And then that happened. Then at this point, the truth has been revealed. The job is done, but not for Megatron, or not for D16. He continues to fight Sentinel in a 1v1. But Sentinel got distracted with the recording, so Megatron tackles him off the building into the city center, and in doing so, Sentinel lost his wings and a lot of stuff. So he was he took heavy damage.
And then he's trying to kill him, and Optimus is like, "Don't do it."
And he's like, "Get out of my way! I'm going to kill him."
The mask kind of resembles Goldbug. He's basically Bumblebee, but he's like revived in the G1. Yeah, so he has a battle mask, and yeah, that's what G1 Goldbug looks like.
He wants to. Orion stops him. He tries to. He's like, "Get out of my way, or I'm gonna make you move." And then he was gonna execute Sentinel, but then Optimus jumps in the way and takes the full shot. There.
And then
D16
he grabs him.
Yeah.
Why did you do that? And then at that point, he fully becomes evil. His eyes literally turn red. He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm done saving you," and just.
And the audience went silent. There's actually like audible silence in the audience, and you could hear someone go like, "Why?"
Oh yeah, we had some theater reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had some theater reactions.
The theater was like not that packed.
Yeah, so when Orion got shot, like someone on the side was like, "No, why?" Yeah, that was so funny.
Not that funny, but it was, it was actually kind of they actually made it an emotional moment because there was like no background sound for a bit, and then yeah, he fell into the void.
Or fell into the center of Cybertron, and Prime just is like, "I want you to be the next Prime."
You have proven us that you are a good guy. Here's the matrix of leadership. You are now Optimus Prime.
Also, why is there a big hole in there in the first place?
That just goes to the center of the planet.
Why is it so easy to get there?
Well, I don't know why in the movie, but there's this thing called the Well of All Sparks, is where Transformers get born. There's like a big well.
So that's the well?
I don't know what it is in this movie, so I don't know why there's a
Well, it
hole.
seems like a big hazard, a safety hazard in general. Like
You could accidentally fall into the planet's core.
Yeah, you can just walk and you're like, "Oops," and you just fall in. And if you don't he got.
It's right next to the city center too.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. We get some like safety inspectors to look at that.
Yeah, so at the same time, while Optimus is descending into the planet, Megatron has successfully killed Sentinel, or D16 has successfully killed Sentinel.
He like
tears him in half.
He like Juggernaut, in Deadpool 2.
Yeah, he
style.
rips Deadpool in half, yeah. And then he chucks his body, and then he takes out the core of
Megatronus.
And then he's like, "I am Megatron, follow me." And then he puts it in and becomes he becomes Megatron.
Yes.
About the matrix of leadership. So the knowledge of past primes is stored into the matrix of leadership. So when Optimus Prime gets it, he should be really knowledgeable.
I also read somewhere that the matrix of leadership makes Optimus immortal. Like he can't die from it.
I don't think so.
Seems a bit OP.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it gave him a lot of abilities.
Like in the movie we watched, the 86 movie we watched, the animated one, he does die.
Oh yeah, exactly, yeah.
And then he passes the matrix.
Yeah, in the Michael Bay movie he dies once. Oh wait, sorry, I spoiled it again.
Hey, yeah.
Oops.
You just don't want me to enjoy Transformers movies.
Oops, my bad. Okay, so they're like, "Arise, Optimus Prime." He then gets transformed into his G1 design. That was his G1 design, right?
His Transformers 1 design.
Transformers. Ah, okay.
They're different.
And then he rises up. At first, Alina and B try to stop Megatron at first. Because they're like, "Tear the whole thing apart!" And they're just...
No, but then they're like, "We're too weak because Megatronius is too OP, the core."
Mm-hmm. And then Optimus comes in, superhero landing, just rebooted from the reboot van. And then Megatron's like, "Damn, you got the Matrix. They gave that to you? That's crazy."
You think they were gonna give it to you?
Yeah. And then then they have a one-on-one fight, a pretty cool action-packed one-on-one fight, I would say. The choreography was actually pretty sick.
And when he's the axis OP, you can transfer from the hand. He was like, and then
And he just spins it to deflect bullets.
Yeah, that hasn't been used like the axe like in previous Transformers where it's just a solid. So
it's
also he
it's a
can't
lightsaber.
he can't like throw projectiles.
Also, since when did Optimus have flamethrowers?
Yeah, he didn't have.
Yeah, so I was
flamethrowers.
he just whipped out
So those
the
are
flamethrower at.
I guess that's new.
Yeah, that's new.
It's cool though. I like them.
Yeah. And then eventually, like how did the one-on-one end?
Basically, he was like using an axe in one hand, and then like there's a slow shot of him like moving the axe to the other hand, and like
Slicing Megatron's cannon.
Oh yeah, that's right. And so yeah, after that he tells Megatron like, "You betrayed me. You betrayed everyone. You're now banished. Take the High Guard and get the hell out of here."
why did he assume the High Guard would go with them?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like no, it was already kind of implemented.
Oh, no, Megatron said like rise up to them and then motivational speech.
Oh yeah.
I guess, but did Optimus hear that?
Optimus was still down at the core when that happened.
Yeah. So how did he know?
No, but I guess in the
He's
beginning,
really smart.
you just said the Matrix gives him
Yeah.
knowledge, right?
Yeah, that's like predicting the future. Maybe he has lore knowledge.
I feel like at that point, when he becomes Optimus Prime, they should have swapped Chris Hemsworth with Peter Cullen.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
Like surprise.
Yeah. And then he becomes wise, right? He sounds wiser now that he has the Matrix with him. And then he basically became Iron Man too at one point. The Matrix just started blasting beams at Megatron.
Or that
No,
like
those from the arm.
explosion thing.
Yeah. He did say, "I am Optimus Prime."
At
so,
the end.
you know.
Yeah, and then so Megatron and the hiker gets banished. And then he just, I guess it was already assumed at that point, he has the Matrix. He is the new leader of Cybertron. He is the new king, pretty much. And then he promotes Bumblebee to, no, he promotes Elena to Commander. And then Bumblebee's like, I gotta work for the government. Yeah.
And then Energon starts flowing again.
And then what happened? They're like saying like, "Oh, the bug people, get out of here."
Oh, I think okay, no, as Optimus has, in his new position, he like kind of had a reflection moment of when he first met D16. And so, it's tragic, right? They want a tragic ending, at the same time also a triumphant ending. So they did a bit of both in that scene. And then at the very end, I guess when they're all transforming on the surface, I think maybe it's just them charging towards an army.
The Quintessons.
Yeah.
Quintessons. Yeah, they were basically saying like, "We're gonna fight the Quintessons."
Because they all can transform now, so that they can actually stand up and fight the Quintessons. So I guess that last shot of them all running is probably them charging towards the Quintessons.
Post-credit scenes now.
Yeah, post-credit scenes. I mean, I thought the movie would also end with talking about how the war started, but they didn't do that at all. Like how Megatron would declare war on Cybertron, and the whole thing would
It
happen.
didn't happen yet, but it's implied.
Yeah. So the first post-credit scene.
It's Bumblebee talking to he's having schizophrenia, so he's talking to his imaginary friends. And he's like, "Oh, I have knife hands," and then kills two of them.
And I also work for the government now. And then the second post-credit scene, we had to wait quite a while for that one, but it was worth it at the end. What is it, Santos?
They're at the High Guard's base, and then they all get Decepticon symbols. And then Megatron says, I don't know, something Decepticons.
So he's just saying the Autobots are now their new enemy after Sentinel. Did they actually explain the origin of the Autobots? Like, we're the Autobots now?
In the movie, I don't think so.
It was just already assumed that
Just their
all the good
names.
guys already...
Well, Optimus Prime said Autobots at the end.
Oh, okay.
Didn't he say roll out Autobots when talking to the High Guard too?
He said, oh yeah, he's like, roll out. He was like, roll out. What? Talk louder. Roll out.
Oh,
Did
he
say
just said
Autobots?
transform and roll out.
Transformers.
Yeah,
okay.
and then
Transform and roll
okay.
out.
Yeah, and they're like, what? Yeah, so there you go.
That's the movie.
That's the movie. So Yeah, that actually sets up the main storyline pretty well with that story. So I think it's actually like I enjoyed it. It was good writing. It was emotional. It was tragic, but it was also funny at the same time. Let's end this off with: would you recommend this movie to fans and non-fans?
Well, yeah, of course.
Santos by default says yes because it's Transformers.
Okay, what if you're
No,
not?
because it's good writing too.
Okay, yeah. What if you're not a Transformers fan?
I guess it's pretty good. I'd recommend it to pretty much anyone that's kind of interested in Transformers. It seems like a good starting point, from what I've seen, because I haven't seen many other Transformer movies. If you're looking for a family-friendly movie, this one's pretty good.
No humans at all in this movie, too.
If you're like, looking for a serious movie or something like, action-packed, very intense, then maybe this one's not for you. So I'd say it's more family-friendly oriented, or if you're into Transformers or looking to get into Transformers.
There you
It's
go.
pretty action-packed at the end.
Okay, yeah, but I'm talking about like, I don't know, Mission Impossible. It's not like that level of action-packed. Like if you like adult action movies, it's not.
Yeah, but I think the one-on-one between Optimus and Megatron was pretty well choreographed.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's not like serious.
Yeah. There you go. And that is our thoughts on Transformers 1. Of course, we got some, not a lot compared to Deadpool and Godzilla. So we actually have quite a little bit of stuff here. So why don't we start off with the theater merch first, actually. Then we'll review your figure at the very end. So, Brandon, show them the cup. And I'm missing one. There's supposed to be 4 toppers. I only have 3 because I did not buy the merch on opening weekend. So I missed out on one, unfortunately. But that is the cup.
Alright, you have Optimus, but not Orion Pax, Bumblebee, B's 117,
127.
127, close enough. D16 and Alita 1, which, why is she Alita 1? They just call her Alita.
And why is the cup so much
No,
smaller?
they call her Alita 1.
Anyways, the cup is tiny.
Compared to Deadpool's, why is it so much smaller?
The budget for this movie is not good enough. Here's have a tiny cup.
The Despicable Me 4 cup was that size as well. Really? But then for Godzilla, X Kong, and Deadpool and Wolverine, the cups were like regular size. They were like quite big. So maybe they weren't big blockbusters.
How was your orange soda Fanta out of this cup?
Yeah, I actually drank out of this cup. Normally I don't when I buy theater cups. For its small size, I actually finished it like pretty quickly.
Yes.
It was sample snack size.
It just had a sample of a drink, Yeah. You could have went out and refilled it.
I could have midway through the movie. All right. Of course, the cup comes with toppers. Of course, I just said I only have 3 out of the 4. So Santos,
Should we open them?
let's open them.
Which one first?
You pick.
You pick. Also, we should mention, Brandon, can you tell the audience which one we're missing?
We're missing the Mark45 one.
Damn. But this one is Orion Pax. All right, open.
We're missing Megatron.
Yeah, I guess Megatron was the popular one. So that's him in the truck mode.
Does it actually
Cybertronian.
transform?
Does it actually transform?
No.
No. You could have done that.
Really, like,
Whoever
so
makes this,
expensive. It would.
that would have been cool.
This is the heaviest one out of the 3.
Because it's a truck.
Yep. But it's flat. It won't topple over. I remember the Deadpool one. The Deadpool one would keep falling over because it's too heavy. No, that was Wolverine. It was Wolverine.
Yeah, it looks cheapo.
I mean, it's $3 each.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing to say about it.
Out of 10.
4.
What? 4? That's so low. I'm giving it a 7.
Oh, that's so high.
Okay, I'll change mine. 5.
Okay.
Okay, I'll also go to 5.
What? Okay. Well, any comments, Brandon?
Yeah, it just looks plasticky. It looks like a hunk of plastic. It doesn't look very like well made.
I wish it transformed.
Yeah, if it transformed, you can get a like a.
It'll be
7
like
or an
$10 each, not 3.
8. But that'd be cool. Imagine.
Okay, next up is Bumblebee. They're in their vehicle forms. The one
Okay, this one is better because it has like a gold.
Yeah, that one
Paint
looks
on
kind of. That doesn't look like Bumblebee. It looks like a luxury car.
I mean, Bumblebee is a luxury car. He's like a Chevrolet.
I guess
Yeah.
it doesn't look like Bumblebee.
Camaro, that's the name. He's a Camaro.
And also a Volkswagen Bug.
So out of 10.
It's easier to hold the cup with the thing on.
Yeah, for sure.
It's less heavy. I don't know. 6.
7.
I agree.
2, 7, or 6.
In between, 6.5.
And last one, even though we don't have Megatron, we have, what's her name again?
Alita 1.
Okay.
Her name is partially in the title.
Is Megatron in robot mode?
From the photos I saw, yes.
Okay, so this is the other one that's in robot mode.
Not the most stable.
She's like doing
Something.
the moves.
The running moves, nice.
She's like reaching for something. This is what it looks like in the,
On the cup, yeah.
yeah. It doesn't look too stable because it's like this foot and that pole.
I will give it a 5.5.
I will give it a 6.5. Not
Give
my
it a-
particular favorite.
Give it a 6.
So that is the only theater merch I got for this movie. I think that was a good thing. They also had t-shirts. They also had a pillow. I don't need that, so I didn't pick it up. But we have one more piece of merchandise to show off here, and that is from Santos's very own beloved collection. What is it, Santos?
So this is from a toy line called Transformers Generation Studio Series. It's basically action figures that are from the movies and also the video games. So this is the Transformers 1 design of Optimus Prime. And he can roll out.
Does it transform?
Yes. Which all Transformers should do.
Can you show it?
Wait.
Why don't these transform, huh?
They're toppers.
This is also there's weapon storage, so there's energon axis here, and the missiles in front can also detach. But what do you think of the vehicle mode?
It doesn't look like a pickup truck at all.
Well,
Looks like it's about
compare it
to.
with this. This is not a pickup truck.
Yeah? I mean,
It's a Cybertronian
it's
vehicle.
quite accurate, yeah.
I guess it just looks like it's about to go to war.
Also, these things can rotate, so you can have them firing
I see.
or do the.
Also, the axe is
flames
blue,
away.
isn't it? Typically orange.
Yeah. In the movie, it's orange with a blue outline.
That's the energy waves. Blue energy waves, though.
Also, I don't like this hole or this gap in the bottom of the figure at the top here. They rank different, or they call different sizes of action figures and classes. So I think this is called deluxe class. So it's like he's gonna be that tall, and then there's leader classes which are bigger, and then Voyager, which is this.
Interesting.
Over the years, the names or the sizes of each class have changed, so it's a bit confusing. Okay, I'll transform it now.
Yes.
I feel like a kid would just get so confused trying to transform this.
Well, each transformer has an instruction manual, so
a kid's just like someone's gonna mess this up. Like a 5-year-old kid gets.
You can say the same with Lego sets.
Yeah.
this is Optimus Prime. The Megatron will come out in November, so, and Alita 1 and Sentinel Prime and Bumblebee will come out in next year.
I feel like Sentinel Prime will look pretty cool.
Yeah,
Like,
he also has he can transform into his super mode, which comes larger.
I see.
What do you think? You can pose him.
the axe looks cool.
and whatever you want.
He looks cool.
Yeah, the axe looks pretty cool. I like that. I do wish though the eyes are a little glowy. Can't really. It looks like he's turned off.
In some Transformers, there's this thing called light piping. So there will be see-through plastic through the back of his head, and if you put it to the light, you can like see his eyes.
Very nice. I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
A 7 out of 10.
The problem with this, when transforming, his crotch plate likes to come off.
Please stop playing with his crotch on camera.
Also, this likes to come off a lot, so...
Seems like the loose components don't stick very well.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I forgot one thing. He can take out his matrix of leadership and hold it.
Nice. Does he always hold it in 2 hands?
I feel
Yeah,
like you can
yeah.
hold it, yeah.
Okay, I see.
Oh yeah, I was kind of bothered in the movie when he held the matrix of leadership. There's actually like holes for your fingers to go in.
Yeah.
But he just grabbed the whole thing.
Well, you can ask the animation team.
Pretty cool toy. Is it still available right now?
Yes. They have a new name for these kind of figures. This is a grade A figure, which means that it'll be in stores more.
And so I think that is what we're going to call it. We are hungry, we want to eat, and we are tired. So, good movie.
I agree.
Good movie. And if you want to check out any other of the other movie reviews we've done, like Deadpool and Wolverine, Godzilla X Kong, and some of the other stuff. And if you want to see us do maybe a movie reaction series on the Michael Bay movies for Brandon.
Yes.
Maybe we'll just start off with Bumblebee, because that's a prequel to Rise of the Beast.
Exactly. We can do that. We will probably skip Rise of the Beast because we have watched it in theaters, and we have the movie review on the main channel.
Yes.
So we can do that. And also, I know some of you guys might be asking me if we're going to react to Lord of the Rings. The answer is I don't know. We shall see. And that's definitely something we'll do when we actually have time, because you know those movies take a long time to watch. So anyways, that remains to be seen. And then we have another guest episode coming out soon. So you can look forward to that.
Till all are one.
That was so corny.
Okay, I don't know.
We leave it at that. We just leave it. It was good. It's good.
That was so corny.
Sound of Safe Bad Acetron in their lowest possible voice.
Do it.
Subscribe.
Man, all right. We'll see you in the next one.